Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to Multidimensional Soul Podcast. We are live here. If you can see us, Soul Podcast. Yeah. Okay. So, a very warm welcome. We have with us today our returning guests, Rob Potter and Master Pallavi. And they have something in common. They have Mahavatar Babaji, Patrijis, and pyramids in common. So we are going to have a very interesting session today. I will just quickly introduce them. Rob Potter is an extraterrestrial contactee. He's worked with physicist Dr. Frederick Bell. Together, they travel the world sharing knowledge about pyramids. They would share pyramid science and purpose of extraterrestrials visiting Earth. He has met many ascended masters, including Mahavatar Babaji, and acquired spiritual knowledge from them. Master Pallavi is best-selling author, Ascension guide, founder of MB Publishing House, and founder of Soul Network. Her expertise include channeling, astral travel, and third eye. She has spent 2 decades with Brahmarishi Patriji, and she has met Mahavatar Babaji, written a book by channeling him, and she conducts trips to Mahavatar Babaji's caves twice a year. So, very warm welcome, Rob and Pallavi, once again on this podcast.
It's an
Hello.
honor to be here with you.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you both here. So let's start with Mahavatar Babaji's experiences and encounters. You both have shared your experiences earlier on our podcast. But for those who are joining new, can you just briefly share about your experiences with Mahavatar Babaji? And especially, Babaji has been silent for the last few centuries, but now he has actively started working with a few people. So that is because of the probably because of the ascension. So what are his messages for the ascension? So first we will start with Master Pallavi.
Hello, everyone, especially to the podcast people who are very, nowadays evolving towards podcast. And this is how our energy also brought us together to really talk about, especially about Babaji, because his energy is something that I feel on everyday basis is everly expanding. And what I could see in the energy of ascension is once Patriji said that Babaji is the CEO of Earth government for Earth related work. And that statement was very fascinating for me because exactly that period I was working with Babaji, and uh, the very next day I was discussing with him, this is what Patriji said about you. So could you share me something about if I could be, deserving that to know about how you work. So what he really mean by working as a CEO for Earth government. So then he said I could not share with you more details, but yes, I could take you to my team. So then he took me through astral work to one dimension where he showed me a sort of a place where thousands of masters were working, and they had different departments, the way we have companies and we form a system in the company. So their system is so towards, I can say, is perfection, that they take care of emotions a lot. what I could see is that every department was working into the particular vibration, which in the form of emotions of human beings, where they decode the work and then they assign. So there are a lot of beautiful technologies I have seen as a system which he regulates. So that I had privilege to really see how he work. And then I think after that, then the work the higher beings do is definitely and could not match with the 3D mindset. Even though I experience, it's difficult that you could really implement something out of it. But yes, you can take, may not be so much at physical level, but what I felt is I have taken a lot at my soul level to understand the system of energies within me. Because if one is getting you know towards understanding of energies as a system, as a human system, then I think the manifestations is entirely those teams work, which depends on the requirement of the energy. So I mainly develop the attitude, the openness of the heart to carry those energies within you, to even protect in my own system as being in the human form. So those kind of things I think I could adopt from that experience, and it was a very highlight for me to see Babaji's role there. And somewhere I got the vibes that one day he's going to put me somewhere in that department, and I could see that manifesting after 5 years of it, where he put me in the HR department. So a lot of thrills at everyday ascensions, where the roles also keep changing the way you ascend your energies.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's something very different and fascinating. So thank you for sharing that. Now we'll move to Rob, and Rob has joined us all the way from Mount Shasta, early morning in the US. So, Rob, can you share your experiences and especially messages from Babaji around Ascension?
My my experience with Babaji was probably 30 minutes or less. And the teaching was strictly focused on the Kriya Yoga technique. And the masters work very differently. They have complete control over the material world and nature because they are in tune with the universal mind of God. And so um, everything is divinely orchestrated, and we can never forget that God is always in control. And I've not had any other contact with Babaji. I feel in my deepest spiritual self when I do Kriya Yoga that he's reminding me of the bhakti nature of the intent to connect to God. That the technique that he has taught is a powerful technique for people to achieve ascension on the earth itself will eventually become a celestialized sphere and take its place, amongst the other planets that not have fallen. The earth is in a unique situation where, as Sri Yukteswar explained to Yogananda, the yugas and different things in the fall of Adam and Eve, what that really was, what that partook of, was that mankind had, the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Um, the the tree of life is where the hair is the root ball and the brain is the root ball of a tree, and the senses are the various fruits on the tree. And so um, there was a unique divine uh, plan for mankind, and we're going to achieve that. That is, we must merge the divine feminine and the masculine and provide uh, a non-attached materialistic view to the world. And this is an individual process of ascension. Many are ascending daily to various realms, and what she spoke about is the interior government of the earth, of the masters who have great compassion, and yet they must remain hidden to us. But very soon they will be presenting themselves for interaction with humanity so that we can be guided by them, because as we are, they once were. So we have much to learn from the experiences, from the people, from the spiritualized lokas. But because of our emotional development, we're not really ready at this time for that. So I don't have any direct information from Babaji other than my own intuition and my own desire for the suffering on this world to stop. And some of these things are they just must take place. These are the conditions that people have really created for themselves, and by focusing on God and realizing they can they can expiate that karma or that imbalance. So that is the message of Babaji, is for people to practice the technique, to be kind, to be patient, to be compassionate, to speak softly with kindness, sweetness, and self-control, and to do unto others. And don't, regardless of caste, creed, race, religion, all men are part and parcel of the divine, and it lives within them. Om Tat Sat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Pallavi, when you talked about the changes or the shifts in ascension happening right now, every single time there is a change, and especially now that so many, what I understand is Earth is like a planet where not just humans or not just mankind, but the entire universe is focused on Earth, because it is impacting the entire universe and not just Earth as such. So, what changes are expected in the coming decade when we are ascending?
See, when we start to create anything, it can be physical, it can be in the energy form. So everything has its own processes to go through. And we cannot predict that how long it may take time. Even if we just see that the spiritual perspective of our transformation, so it start taking place from the cellular level within us, and then the changes start coming into the outer world. That is what we mainly see and try to be with the truth that everything is within us. So what I can see, the changes in the ascension is the energy of ascension is everywhere, in every area of physical life, because that is how it is uplifting every area, giving a message to the all mankind. It's an again, uh, more wake up calls, more opportunities of energies to work. And I feel that especially towards the spiritual people, it is a very highly opportunity to accept those energies, to align ourselves, to really uplift even the idea of our own soul purpose. Because what I can see personally is, a year back what I used to think that, oh, this is what I know and this is what I have to, it is changing, you know, every month or every year. The picture is, you could see with a different perception, and altogether with different colors. So I think that is because of how I am accepting to ascend. So there are levels of ascension that everyone go through, and it's again a choice. But yes, the energy of ascension is working from smaller group of people to the the larger group of people. So mainly the people who are pure at heart could tune into this energy very quickly. But yes, what I can see the struggle with them is they are just confused. They don't know how to apply things, because that is how the pure mind gets stuck with the energies around, how to face, how to navigate things. So I think that guidance is happening around with already awakened beings, through awakened beings, and their messages are reaching to those people who are already into the ascension energy. So I think that will rise a lot in coming years.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Rob, coming back to Earth being a celestial planet, and I understand that you have received guidance from uh, ascended masters as well as extraterrestrial beings. So, can you just touch upon briefly about Earth being a celestial, going into a celestial confederation or part of that system?
Yeah, that is coming. It won't be coming soon for the whole planet. Not in our lifetimes, for sure. A lot of people say, oh, it's going to be happening. If you look out, unfortunately, there is crazy things happening. We have some social media, and you're looking around, and all of a sudden you see road rage. So mankind, for the most part, is not focused on the spiritual thing, but the changes that are coming. We are entering a golden age. No longer is it the Dwapara or the Treta or the Satya or the Kali Yuga. We are moving into a new golden age. This is long prophesied. There is much attention throughout the universe on this planet. There's been a battle, like the battle of the Bhagavad Gita, between the forces of light and dark. And one of the best dissertations on the Bhagavad Gita is by Yogananda. It's a very under-known book, but he basically describes that battle between the light and the dark goes on in each individual every day. We are pulled by various tinsel and trash that attract us in the material world. In reality, this world itself is a dream world. It's an illusion. The Indians know this is Maya, and this is a scientific fact because nothing is is static. Everything is changing. When we take the base of the pyramid divided by the height, that equals pi, or the Fibonacci series. There's never a perfect circle. It's always a spiral. Things are always changing. And this is one of the natures of the universe. In the Hindu religion, that would be Shiva. So you have Brahma, the creator, you have Vishnu, the preserver, and you have Shiva, the destroyer. So everything is being on the material plane is being created, and it's having a lifespan, and then it devolves. It's kind of like smoke. Smoke is everywhere, and you blow and it moves and it changes constantly. But behind the smoke is the ever luminous, ever present, luminous nature of God. Everything is a reflection of the great and mighty I am presence, or the nature of God. So when mankind realizes that individually, his outlook will change. His activity and his focus will change. And the change is going to come because there's going to be changes physically, there will be geological changes, there are frequency and energy changes, and old societal infrastructures that have been built upon selfishness and greed have been, um, let's call them the asuras. And in the Western world, we call the lead asura Lucifer, or Satan, the adversary. So there is truly a reality of fallen beings who were supposed to be good, but they have become gone against God. And we don't understand these are demigods. There's only one true living God. But when we look at these extraterrestrials who live sometimes hundreds of thousands or even a million years in a higher dimension, even um, they have influence, and many of them have created technologies that have worked against mankind. And now that is being behind the scenes now. These battle is not taking place between the Viyamanas like they did with Krishna. Okay. So now it's behind the scenes so that mankind can learn and grow. And there are great changes, positive changes that are affecting the energies on the planet. And there's no way it can be stopped. The extraterrestrials and the Venusians and the Pleiadians called it the victory of the light. And I would say that that has already taken place. The victory of the light has taken place. So it's now a matter of mankind catching up. And this is where the star seeds and everyone's coming forward. So I'm going to say changes physiologically, um, nature, in the weather. And there's going to be some very challenging times, as the Venusian queen had told me, you know, uh, pay attention to your dreams, learn to become a dream master, and to control your energies, because for those less illumined, there are going to be many difficult, perilous times ahead. They're not trying to incite fear, they're trying to encourage a spiritual point of view. We don't judge people. Oh, they're doing this. There's so much judgment going on in the world, and everyone has a right to think and feel and to do what they want. But um, we think that that's wrong and this wrong. You could look at it, someone, a drunk on the street, and he may die tonight because it's cold in a trash can. That could be his last lifetime. You don't know. So do not judge, always be kind. And that's for me, that those are the changes that I see taking place individually, and that's going to come through, Patriji's meditation, yoga, and of course Babaji's meditation. The Indian people are 3 steps ahead of everyone else because it's deeply ingrained in your culture. You have the greatest, longest history, the most spiritual culture on the planet. And I believe that, there's lots of problems there too, but I believe the Indian culture is very important to the world in bringing about these changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is why spiritual practices daily are extremely important. Like you both emphasize that, especially as we are ascending, we need to have these daily practices. So, coming to Brahmarishi Patriji, you both have had experiences with him, and Pallavi has spent 2 decades with him. So, I'll start with Pallavi. Can you share your experiences with Patriji?
Experiences, I mean, you already said it's been 2 decades. So definitely there are a lot of experiences. And I always feel less with words to describe it, because 20 years living with him is, one single statement is living with God. Because he was a person, a very common person who taught us how to live, how to eat, how you should stand, what kind of words you should use, how you should speak, how you should be aware about uh, everything around you. So he has given treatment, whatever is needed as per that person's mind. So many of us used to get bitten also by him. Many of us used to get a lot of love. Many of us used to get a lot of appreciations. So he was a truly God in a physical body with uh, why I see and say the God is because the awareness he was having in his physical body was extraordinary. It is beyond the words that people who lived with him can really say this, because even though I'm here with him at one place, he was so aware that what is happening, and then somebody used to call him and he used to say, what happened, why are you going there, and then the person immediately stops and they says, yeah, we were feeling that we should not go, and he said, no, no, come back. So his awareness was extraordinary, and that is how we experience it, even from a very small things. The very first thing when, like example is when I got married, and first time he came to my home, and I put the geyser on, and he woke up and he said, no geyser, go put the water on a gas. And I was like, why? It's good, it's running. He said, no, put water on gas. Then I said, okay. I went and I put hot water, and then I went to the washroom and, to put the water. Okay, maybe he wanted more. I thought in that way. Then I went and saw that the geyser was not working. And then I understood and, used that water which I put on a gas. So, like this, in everything, he was, I mean, I could not really describe that. Awareness was God's awareness. He know what is happening with every person. So whatever the small doubt I have, I always give a call. And what I can say that these all PSSM people got so much comfort. Like we have the God itself with us. Whatever the doubt we have, we can even call him, talk him. And whatever the doubt I have, he used to clear on a phone or a physical meetings. So we never even thought the God can also vacate the physical body. So that never came to anybody's mind so far. And I think when he left his physical form, and after that, I mean, personally, me, definitely with many people, that we started feeling that now we all are thrown out of the comfort zone. Because when everything is available and you're enjoying, so we never felt that what is even happening the whole world, because he was with us. Even the small thing comes, we know that we have his such a big support. And suppose somebody used to come with a lot of suffering or stress or anything, even just his energy, it used to heal us. So that is very, very special. And I think I feel blessed myself to plan that soul plan with him, to spend 20 years. And I wish again that I will catch him in another universe so that I can get more and more from him.
Wow, beautiful. Rob, can you share your experiences?
Well, I've never met Patriji. My master, I think I'd mentioned to you before the show. Um, my master, someone who speaks to people on the other side, and said, "Is there anyone you want to talk to?" And I thought of my teacher, my master, Fred Bell, and my mother and father. And I'm very like Partridge. I work with a scientist. He was a very, very advanced scientist. He worked on spaceship engines, time travel, worked for NASA. And at 20 years old, he was working on the world's top radar set. So um, I said, I'm going to need some proof. So um, my mother um, was spiritual. And I said, if you go to the other side, we're going to have a code that you're going to tell me, so I know that someone who's contacting me is real. And I didn't tell the girl, and she was trying to think what it would be. And then finally she said teal. And that's a color like sky blue behind me. A little different, but more like a lighter blue. So then when it came to Fred Bell, he wrote a book called his number one book that he wrote, the culmination of all of his books, was Rays of Truth and Crystals of Light. And in that book, I walked into his business office on the day and the moment that he got his very first set of copies. And he was opening it up and he said, "Well, this is good karma." He pulled out the book and he signed it. And what he signed it was "Kick upon your soul." And so the first thing she said when uh, I I said, "Okay, what does he say?" She said, "He says, kick upon your soul. Does that mean anything?" And I said, "Yes." "Tell me." "It's him." So he proceeded to share with me some things about his life in the afterlife and the scientific laboratory that he now works in. And he said, "There's a guy in India. He's making copper pyramids. You must connect with him." And so after that conversation, I started to Google search and I found the Pyramid Valley. I found these giant pyramids seating 5,000 to 6,000 people, one of them that's open and you can climb up to the king's chamber. And I did not make the connection. And then I was invited to speak. I saw a pyramid conference. A woman named Marta connected me and she said, "I'm going to invite you." And then she was kind of pushed out of that position, but I was reaching out to Patriji, and then in the end, Marta came back in, and so I reached out to Pari, and I interviewed her to learn about Patriji, and as I was reading this, I really realized that Patriji was like an Indian saint. He was born into the Brahmin class, but he said, "I'm not going to do that." The sandalwood and standing up there and arti and all that. Those are sometimes very important, but it's the inner devotion to God that's most important. We have preachers up here who tell you what to do and that person's bad and that religion's bad and only Jesus and only this. And then you have the Hare Krishnas. Krishna is the only way, the young kids around here in ISKCON. So um, it was very refreshing as I understood. I asked Pari personally, she says, "Well, I didn't really know my dad that well either because he was always gone." And she said that he went by plane, by boat, by foot, by bicycle, uh, any way he could, hitchhiking. He would go across India and he would teach them about the power of pyramids and the simple technique of following your breath. And the other thing was to be vegetarian and to always give everything for free. And this was what really my experience in Partiji was through the devotees in uh, in Raleigh, North Carolina, the light within their eyes, the high spiritual vibration, how the group worked together. They pulled off a conference in America with 1,100 people for free and free food. Now, this is standard for Partiji in India. But for me, a Westerner, I do my little conferences and, I'm one person. I'm definitely not seeking a following or to be responsible for other people in that sense. I'm a teacher. I have been given beautiful and lovely experiences, but um, when I do something, I have to rent the room. I have to do this. I have to pay speakers. Some of my speakers I pay or I give them plane fare, these type of things. So money is important, and so at least in the Western world at this point in time. So my experience with Partiji was experiencing the love and the devotion of all the followers and the veneration that they have for him. And I have more and more respect for him. Learning here from uh, Pallavi, um, I may have pronounced that right, but so I'm so honored to be able to be part of PSSM and to present and to share the important messages, which are really very similar to my messages. And my teacher was really about pyramids, technology, science, and helping people understand that there are wonderful things coming when we can remove some of the, let's call them criminals in our world who do very, very bad things. And they create wars on purpose, and this has to stop. So, as we find love in our hearts and more people refuse to do these things, and following the teachings of Patriji um, and um, and all the ascended masters, we will find ourselves in a much better place.
Yeah. So you both talked about PSSM and the technique for meditation was involving pyramids. So there is definitely some significance of why pyramids are involved in meditation. So what is the significance of pyramids in the spiritual development? How is the pyramid geometry energy is connected to meditation and healing? So I'll
Can I
go. Yeah,
yeah,
please.
can I please mention to everyone who's listening, look into the chat. I have been the only person to post there. I have many links to Babaji videos, Yogananda videos. The last one is a Kindle on Amazon that you can buy to download autobiography of a yogi. If you don't have time to read in your car, at home, and then of course all the PSSM global websites are located in the chat. Okay, I'll let Pallavi start.
Yeah, that is in Zoom. I will just post it on YouTube. Pallavi, please go ahead. I'll just post these links.
Yeah, I mean, for this particularly, Rob can say a lot more things, but yes, whatever I know about pyramids is all from Patriji. And he used to say that he wants to build more and more pyramids. He wants to see more and more pyramids all over the world because uh, when we are not here, we'll we'll go as of our time goes. But these pyramids will take care of this planet. And this all pyramids work like energy centers to uh, those evolutions or mankind, which will take care of energies. So his first thing was to do meditation under pyramid and make pyramid as a everyday energy along with meditation. And I myself, when I started my meditation, I used to wear the cap, pyramid cap, or a small pyramid of 2 by 2 pyramid, sit under that pyramid. And on every Sunday, go to the pyramid center, which is constructed where 100, 200 people could sit. So, this revolution, and I myself have seen the spiritual growth in terms of gaining your vibrations, understanding, and overall transformation was really possible with pyramid energy. And it's been 20 years that one of the Patriji's principle is that don't take medicines. He used to say that you are your own doctor. You just meditate, follow your breath, use pyramids. You don't need to take any medicine. Be your own doctor. So, following the same principle, being the part of PSSM, I have not taken any medicines last 20 years. Whatever happens to my physical body, I heal through meditation and especially with pyramids. I use all kinds of pyramids. If I feel that it is my eyes are strained, I use the eye pyramid. Or if I feel my body is in pain, I have a lot of pyramids I place on my body for some time. So this is the I can see that this revolution is there in PSSM's every house. Every person use pyramid in everything. Like we use pyramid for water, we use pyramid for food, we use pyramid. I have a pyramid on my fridge. We use pyramid for meditation. We use pyramid when we are not feeling well. So pyramid is very much a part of our life and huge transformation for spiritual growth. But yes, I mean, more I take the use of pyramids, and especially in this area, my husband look after. He works more for bringing constructed pyramid, guide people bringing such projects, and we still keep, motivating people to bring the pyramid at their home, let it use for the whole family and also the area you are staying in. So we should keep encouraging people, and definitely, I think Rob, Pari is already doing at the global level. So in India, we have, I think, more than 30,000 constructed pyramids. And I stay the north side of India. So we are also now raising the number, and must be in India side, we have now more than 10,000 pyramids after Patriji left last 2 years. So it's been this moment of pyramid is taking really speed up, and people are bringing, they're coming up, they find our address, they find our number, they take guidance, they build pyramids. So it's a very very great revolution on earth.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Rob, can you share your experiences? And I understand your experiences
Yeah.
have actually science side also to it, because you work with physicist Dr. Bell. So
Yes.
if you can share all of that.
Okay, I'm gonna just share this image with you. Um, this is the pyramid. This is pyramid energy. Now, this is coming with, a metal pyramid and a gold capstone. Now, you won't necessarily get this image from a paper pyramid or a plastic pyramid. Um, no disrespect to Patriji, all shapes have energy, but a plastic pyramid should not be worn on the head because it produces a positive ion. It still has a pyramid energy, but um, this is just this is a different level of uh, of knowledge. So you see the double masculine feminine vortex. It, like we see this could be called the root chakra and the chakras, and this is the Ida and Pingala going up through the body. So the pyramid refracts energy like I'll just say the pyramid refracts energy like a prism does with light. You have seven notes of the musical scale. In the Indian, you have some very great musicians that, there's in like the sitar, there's all these semitones, 22 or 23 semitones. But if you take seven notes of the musical scale, and then you have um, the half notes, 13 is the octave. So there's 12. And that's uh, how in the Indian musical tradition that you use. So sound is also very closely related to the pyramid energy. I'm going to share another little image here from this particular one. So I'm going to share this, and then I'm going to go ahead and show the slideshow, and I'm going to go to the slideshow, and then I'll show right here. So what is a pyramid? Pyramid energy is progressive energy transfer, geometric focusing, and dynamic electrical amplification over a measured plane of coordinates. Simply stated, the pyramid shape acts as a lens and focuses the Earth's magnetism. Now I'm going to fast forward through my presentation. There we see the things. Everything on the material plane is built of four building blocks: carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen, or earth, air, water, and fire. We also have three etheric levels, the first and the second and the third ether. These are in Dr. Fred Bell's book. So we see the pyramid is shaped like a carbon atom. And pyramids have been used around the earth in various locations and places, and they're very important with. So, what is this here? This is a diamond. This is an octahedron. Why do people value diamonds? They're made because it's the gold molecular structure. Why do we value diamonds? Because of the frequency and the energy. They're not just to go around and show off, oh, I'm rich. This is a frequency of healing. And the pyramids that she does, that you can use all the time, you can put it over water. Um, you know, you can do different things with it. So I'm going to go. They produce negative ions. In nature, the air is purified by plants, water meeting air, and thunderstorms. When the positive ions, and this is electrical charge in the air, becomes imbalanced, we go to the waterfalls, we go to the seashore, we go where there's lots of plants because it produces negative ions where water meets air. That creates the pyramid energy. So the full moon can create high serotonin levels. That causes more accidents, more criminal activity, more stress when the winds blow. This is the one I wanted to show you. So this is what happens when I'm going to put my pyramid on here. We put a pyramid on our head. You can't see it because I'm not close, I guess, but you can see here it's a pyramid. Um, Look at that. What is up here? This is your pineal gland. This is your pituitary gland. And this is your hypothalamus down here. The thalamus, the emotional brain mind of the body. Cats like pyramids. So this is why Patriji wanted us to wear pyramids on our head. This is a more, uh, I'll call it, I call this esoteric anatomy. So you understand the nature of the chakras in the body and how the endocrine glands, these are endocrine glands. So our bodies are changing feelings. If we're feeling sexual feelings, that's our sexual organs. If we're feeling hungry, that's our pancreas. And if we're feeling fear and we need to get away, that's the root chakra or the adrenal glands. So the spiritual centers are located here in the thymus and the pituitary, and of course, you have the pineal gland. So that's up here. So you have this various energy centers in our head and a brain. And this is what Babaji taught me. He taught me that the body is a radio station, and you are a receiving station for the light of God coming in through the crown chakra, going all the way down into the earth. You breathe in, you hold your breath for a moment or longer. If you are really good, you can hold your breath for long, and then you breathe out and you hold your breath up here where the life force circulates. You are like a magnet. You have a north pole and the energy comes down through the base of the spine and comes up. So you have to realize yourself as an electrical station. Imagine yourself like a radio station. Not only do you receive signals from the top of your head, but you are projecting energies out. And we are responsible. We are the captains of our own ship in what we think about and what we manifest. And the more emotions and the more time that we spend in silence and listening to God, the more that we can project uh, the reflection uh, of the mirror of our intellect and our mind. What we project into our reality becomes our reality, but it's in combination with others. So we have a collective reality. And when we look at the pollution and the problems in our world, we have allowed the greedy financiers, the bellicose militarists, the religious hucksters to put our minds into areas of materialism that do not serve God. So we have to choose for ourselves and be the captain of our ship and choose where we go. And if we go towards a life of ahimsa, which will include vegetarianism, if we go into right meditation, the eightfold path of yoga, right meditation, right concentration, right livelihood, right recreation, um, right concentration, all yoga practices are designed to bring your mind to one point of concentration. Vipassana, you focus here, tip of your nose or wherever you want. You, if you can become a master of stillness and focusing on one point, why not focus it as Babaji showed me, when his eyes rolled back into his head. And I mean, you could see his eyes, and then you couldn't see his eyes anymore. They were straight up, completely white. So, so he's concentrating on the pineal gland, which is the receiving station. He's sending a signal to God. God, become part of me. And as we do this as a planet, we will live in harmony. So the pyramid represents balance, balance of the endocrine glands, balance of the hormones, balance of our thoughts. And there's so many stories I could tell about pyramids. We don't have 3 days, so I'm not not going to tell more.
Yeah, we'll take a couple of questions from the audience now. I am just going to read. So, Ayush, who built the Egyptian pyramids? Were they extraterrestrials?
I can tell you that they were a combination of humans and extraterrestrials called the Anunnaki. They were built 13,500 years ago. And these beings had organized this as a temple in stone. It had many, many, many different representations. Okay. In the Great Pyramid, which I've been into many times, is there's a treadway and there's steps, and that was like a tank that would go up and down. And on the top of the walls, there were various gemstones. And the pyramid was several things. One of the things that it was, there was the pyramid that you see now, and there was also out separated from it was a white marble uh, outer layer. And if you go to the Great Pyramid and you look on the ground, you will find little tiny white pieces of marble because they broke that down. And the top was, I believe it was a crystal, but it was plated in gold. And so if you were anywhere, if you could see the Great Pyramid, it was creating free energy that in the times that it was built, they were able to have magnetic flying cars and free energy. They had electricity in the homes. You can look at uh, the bent pyramid down there. They have a light bulb image. So there's lots of ancient technologies that were lost. And of course, we have the religious authorities who went into the temples in in Luxor, and they were chipping away at all the references to the Vimanas and to the technologies that the thing in there. They didn't want people to know the truth, and that's kind of part of the cover up. So that they built that by extraterrestrial. They planned for 2 years exactly where everything would go, and then they would have some humans and they would hold this device. It was called an ankh. It has a thing where they hold it in the little cross and the thing, and that would levitate the stone, and they would push it into place in many instances. I'm sorry, it's very cold here. I had a
Bless
little.
you.
So there's a lot of uh, so there were many 666,000 pyramids on the earth back in the ancient times, and they're all over the earth and underwater. There is we have a cyclic shift every 5,000 years. The Earth North Pole goes to the South Pole every 5,000 years, and so entire civilizations are washed away. When that happens this time, we will be aware, and we will have advanced technology and help to remove people from the dangerous areas. That's coming in 400 or 500 years. There will be a what's called an axial flip. So the pyramids are very important, and they come from a pyramid priest society that is throughout the galaxy. So Patriji and my teacher were teaching this ancient technology. There's a group called Melchizedek, and this order I was ordained into. The extraterrestrials asked me to say. I said that there's an oath that I took, and an extraterrestrial put his hand on my head, and I was brought into this order of Melchizedek. It's a temple spiritual society. They have nothing to do with politics on the world that they're located on, but they have these pyramid temples that are designed as schools for ascension and teaching. So that's what the order of Melchizedek. And I'll say one last thing. On various worlds, the number of the sides of the pyramids, there may be four or five or maybe even more, and the angles are different depending on the frequency and the dimension or the realm that the society lives on. That's why when we look on Mars, we see a flatter pyramid. It has, it's different than the one we've seen here. And another thing I'll let you know, if you look at it's called Sidonia on Mars, you can research it, and every time that it comes to I think it's a summer solstice. Uh, the Egyptian pyramids are facing Sidonia, and what does El Kalir mean? Mars in Egyptian. So here we see the relationship between the spiritual societies on Mars and on Earth, and the relationship uh, to the planets. Venus has a Fibonacci relationship between the Earth and also between the star system Sirius, and that's another star system of the Brotherhood. So we see these pyramids and this universal life force, prana, ki, chi. The Tibetans call it sumo. The Hawaiians call it mana. So this ancient technology, this life force is being reawakened. And who's at the top of the ladder? Patriji and PSSM are rocking the world, creating large pyramids all over and extolling the truth and the science of sacred geometry and pyramids. Okay. Sorry, I talked too much about pyramids.
No, no, that was that was
It
really,
was all required.
yeah, and uh, yeah, very much required, and very interesting and very intriguing. So, are you saying that these pyramids are even now used as portals for connecting with extraterrestrials and seeking knowledge from them, or getting initiations, or how is it?
In my teachings from the masters of the cosmos, this planet is called an planet, Earth. In Egyptian means light. So um, this planet is very special. We are way out of the edge of the Milky Way, and yet we have a great spiritual importance here. The planet there's portals. Pyramids themselves were portals in Atlantis and many other places. The beings there could teleport to other worlds and other galaxies. So pyramids, this Earth is very special. This little piece of speck of dust, this little blue world on the outer edges of one spiral arm of the galaxy plays a very important role, mainly because this is where some of the fallen asuras chose to come to make their last stand. Um, there was a rebellion in the heavens where many of the angels fell. So this is where they chose to make a last stand. So yes, pyramids themselves are trans-dimensional portals. As you saw in that beautiful picture, the spiral energy off of a pyramid, a gold-plated capstone and everything. This is what you can sleep under. You line your head to magnetic north, and of course, with a pyramid, so you can see, you must have it magnetic north at this angle, if possible. When you wear a pyramid on your head, it kind of goes, it goes, it kind of, the frequencies vary as you line to exact magnetic north. And of course, if you have a gold pyramid or gold plated one like we make, then you are always aligned to magnetic north and you have that type of increase in energy. So this science is something um, the government knows about, and they use it for bad purposes. If you look in HARP in Alaska. I have pictures. They basically put an antenna straight up, and then they make a pyramid, a 52-degree pyramid, and they put thousands of volts in there, and they can open up black holes too. They can open up negative portals to bring in. I don't want to talk about that, but let's just say it can be used for tremendous good and healing. And pyramids, again, I better shut up because I'll talk forever about pyramids.
Okay, so there is a question, where can we get these pyramids? And Rob, I know that you have these products on your website, so we'll provide the link there. But
Oh, thank
Pallavi,
you.
yeah, we'll
The
provide the
promise
link.
mine's a promiserevealed.net. I'm sure Pallavi has, did I pronounce your name correct? Pallavi?
Pallavi,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, good. Pallavi. Okay. Um, And Patriji does have pyramids and various ones. And the large ones, of course, visit Pyramid Valley, visit the epicenters of Patriji's teachings. The people there have lots of experience and the enthusiasm. When I spoke in Dallas, they're building 180-foot square. That's 60 yards. That's bigger than half a football field. They're in the funding phases, and you can follow uh, Pyramid USA .org and uh, or PSS. I'm sorry, PSSM
Global.
USA.org and other places where you can support these efforts, and these are all by donations.
Yeah, we'll provide those links. So, Pallavi, from India perspective, can you guide? And if you have any pyramids, you can show them, and you can
In
guide them.
India, there are various products available. You can get that from, if you are anywhere the part of PSSM, then you will get any master who is providing in that place. Or else, even if you go on Amazon, you will find a lot of products regarding pyramids. So there is no shortage in India. You will find any products everywhere. But yes, I again remind or suggest that to have a constructed pyramid at your own place if you have your own house, and you want that to have a lot of pyramid experiments and energy all the time coming to your house, changing the vibration of the house, then that's the best. We always suggest us to have, so that we can also provide the service to others. Nearby people can come and meditate under the pyramid. So that's the vision we carry from Patriji and spread it. So that is the highest. Or else you can take the use of pyramid which is nearby in your area.
Okay.
I'm going to show, if I can, I'll show you real quickly inside my house. I have lots of pyramids.
Okay. I'm just going to check other questions here.
There's Sri Yukteswar. This is a pyramid I have
Mm.
hanging from the ceiling. And then I have these various designs I make, like this one here. It goes over a large crystal. So that's a fun one with lasers. And then this one is
What
another
is
one.
this one? Can you talk about this?
Yes, this is called a MIDI Firestore. This is used to project your thoughts. The Pleiadians create these to amplify their telepathic communication over vast distances. This one and this one up here is designed to ground out electrical waves that come in through your house.
Yeah, we
So
have this in India. We get this. Yeah.
yeah. So there's lots of
A lot of experiments
different
people
shapes.
have done. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of
Wow.
different shapes you can use with the pyramid energy. And all of those are on my website under the pyramid systems part and shop. But the important thing I think is for people to recognize, research, and
And
find on
please
their own.
show which you showed it to me.
I'm sorry.
Please show, please show the diamond one. I mean, not exactly the diamond one, which you are wearing to the
Oh,
audience.
oh,
No,
you
no, no,
mean the
that not that one, which you are holding, which you are
oh,
wearing.
oh, 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 the necklace. Yeah.
The
So
Yes.
this is
necklace.
it's not diamonds, but
Yeah, it's pyramids.
you can make them
100
out of
and
diamonds. We've had some movie stars buy them, but this is 144 pyramids in a concentric Fibonacci spiral. Let me get closer to it so you can see that.
yes.
So it looks like diamonds, but they're not. They're called moissanites, a poor man's diamond. But on the back, we have a special uh, Cassegrain wave trap. These are almost pure silver, and we plate them so they don't turn black from the body's skin oils. But but we have different designs. So these things are personal devices, and I'm not going to make this an infomercial, but you can
Mhm.
see videos. What they do is they make the body strong. So it's we used to wear pyramids on our head. In fact, my teacher, he wore his pyramid everywhere he went for 12 years. If he was out his house, he wore a pyramid on his head. And I you could feel his head. There were little, he had little indentations from the metal pyramid on his head. I mean, that was like wow. I mean, I thought that's dedication to a purpose, right? So yeah. So he made his point of the importance of pyramids, and then eventually he uh, he did stop wearing the pyramid. Of course, he had the necklace at that point, so that was a big transition. But so just like Partiji, he lived pyramids, and I loved the pyramids, and I love this device because I could have people have pyramids and not have people, going, "What's that on your head?"
Hmm.
Right? I mean, you must have experiences, Pallavi, where they say, "What are you wearing that pyramid on your head for?" Right?
Yeah, I
And
mean, a lot of people, especially those who don't know at all, they used to feel childish, placing on your head and meditating, closing your eyes. But now it's common. Now people don't react much.
yeah, well, that's good. That's the power of Partaji's efforts in India. For me,
Yes.
I was thinking like, people go, "Oh, you're doing that as an ego trip," and I thought about it. Is it an ego trip? And then a lot of times I would be in my house and I wasn't conscious. I would go to the store and I'd be doing, all of a sudden I'd look up and I go, "Oh, I'm wearing my pyramid," because people would be looking at me. And I thought, can I wear a pyramid and not have an ego? Am I not wearing it around like going, "Oh, I'm wearing a pyramid"? I never did it like that. I was like, he said, "Wear the pyramid." And so I'd wear the pyramid out there and I'd be looking like this and people would laugh and smile. And a lot of my friends, and I was just, you just have to ignore it. That takes me back to the old days. So now I don't have to wear a pyramid on my head in public. I use this, and it makes the body strong in terms of negative food you eat and things. There's all kinds of, they call it muscle testing. Was there any more questions?
Yeah, so there are some more questions. Some are on the timelines, and we already discussed that we don't know the exact time when we are going to shift to higher dimensions. Is Earth going to split into 3D and 5D?
Eventually, we're now in the fourth dimension, which is time. Pallavi, you might want to answer what you feel on that.
No, what I can see the questions in my phone. So what I want to say to the audience is that first we have to stop thinking linearly, because 3D mind always think linear and could not really understand the energy point of view. So these shifts are basically taking place in energies first, and the manifestations will follow, not so quickly, but the period of time will take for the physical manifestations. And the 5D energies are already manifesting in a different ways of transformation. But yes, do not say it is split. people who are choosing 5D energies are already splitting. So that way, you may not see two kind of people staying on earth, but it's a kind of a, you see in a company, right? A lot of employees or a lot of freshers are coming to give the interview, and they're some are selecting, some are going back. So this is something is happening right now with the energies, that many people will understand the energy aspect, and then they're choosing to step into 5D. They're working, doing a lot of inner work, making themselves ascend. They know how to process and what should I do to, to merge with the unity consciousness. So a lot of processes are going on, but this is not something is gonna split in two parts.
I would say I would agree with her. Don't focus on time, focus on the inner voice
Yes.
within.
Yes.
And but people people are ascending to 5D all the time. Now, we are coming to a point in time. I've mentioned this, I think, with in the previous talk I had, so someone might want to go back to that. But there will be evacuations from the earth. And I probably think India is going to have the most per capita evacuations because of spiritual frequency. Many people are on their last lifetimes. And as the challenging times come, there's going to be we had a big 7.0 earthquake here in California yesterday. There's going to be increasing challenges in nature. The heat is going to increase tremendously. It is caused by a combination of mankind's misuse of technology, and it is caused by a natural phenomenon of going through a hydrogen cloud of 55 million miles. The entire solar system is heated up outside the Earth's atmosphere to 55 million miles, which will be another 96 years. They have informed me, my guides from the sky have told me that this is affecting uh, the solar cosmic winds and turbocharging natural sun coronal ejections. We call them CMEs. And those are affecting consciousness and stripping away our ionosphere and accelerating changes in the DNA and evolution. And for those people who are not able to handle the frequencies, who are not, let's say, more flexible and more spiritual, they're going to find themselves on the other side of light. But it's okay because we're immortal souls. We are not this fleshly spacesuit that we live in. We are the Atma, the eternal principle of God that has an oversoul. And we actually exist in multiple dimensions and multiple worlds in time and space. And when we get into these areas, we can't even conceive it. We just have to patiently do our best on this material plane, is what I feel. So there will be evacuations, and for the chosen or those people who choose themselves by their adherence and their spiritual relationship with God, whether they uh, are Christian, Hindu, Muslim, it doesn't matter. They cannot have any religion and be very, very good souls, very kind people. So don't think that chosen means Jewish people or Christians or Hindus or Muslims or Buddhists. It could be anyone. So um, these times are coming, and keep an eye out for the signs and meditate, meditate, meditate.
Yeah, meditate. That's the main thing. There are a lot of questions about your necklace, Rob, and we will provide link for Rob's website where you can buy. You do send it internationally, right?
Yeah, I do sell it on my website. If people, I'm going to give you right now, if you want to type it into the chat, I'm going to give everyone who's listening to this show a free entrance to my inner circle, and you can listen to the messages of the Venusians. It's ICM 888 number 3. If you could type that into the chat for them, because we're probably ending pretty quickly here. If you
Yeah.
want to
We
go
will
to
add
my
in the
web,
Can you just
description.
repeat it? ICM?
ICM 8883. That gives you a free membership to my inner circle. It will say $59. They've asked me to put a charge on it because they don't want everyone to see their images, because you can see some of them. And I'll share some images of 2 ascended masters from Venus right now. These are 2 women um, who are um, who had ascended, and you can see the light of God in their eyes. The woman from the right is from Rishikesh, Hardawar, and the woman from the left is in America. They are now ascended masters. But I can tell you that the other ones do have lives on Earth, and they do have public positions. They work secretly down here. They're not showing off spaceships or silver suits or acting like they're better. They're hiding in secret. They're hiding in secret. These are ascended masters who can disappear at will. And they live and walk amongst us, as just as you have many saints in India. So many stories. Oh my goodness. India is just so filled with spiritual potency that
A lot
you
of
understand.
miraculous stories. Yes, yes. And many are there in autobiography of a yogi. So,
Yeah. That's under,
yes.
it's called the nuclear receptor. They can see it there. So join, you get free videos, you get a book. You have to change your password. You get a couple things to keep the bots out, but read that the book that is included in that. I've given that to Akanksshaa previously. And you can see the videos of the recording with the Moonbase commander. And there's a gentleman who held the camera, and he held the camera. That was not on a tripod. It held it exactly still for 28 minutes. It never, it was amazing. That in itself is the power of an ascended master, to hold a camera.
Wow. Thank you for your so generously sharing your inner circle membership here. I have put it in the chat. There was one other question. Can pyramid help students to study well and concentrate? Yes, definitely. We have covered that. There's another question. Is Area 51 a place for benevolent extraterrestrials or unkind extraterrestrials?
Pallavi, what was the question?
I have
Uh,
no idea. I mean, I
Area
didn't get the
51,
question.
I don't know what is that.
I think
What
that
did
is
they say?
somewhere in US.
What was the
Area
question?
51? Do you know about Area 51?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Area 51 is a secret government base where they work with both good and bad extraterrestrials.
Okay, yeah.
That that's a government thing, just as there is ASIO beneath in Australia. They're all over these secret bases, and the bad aliens are being removed now by the Devas. The Devas are forcing them out, and we're going to all that will be revealed. It's very disturbing when we think about that part. So I like to focus on the meditation and the spiritual message.
Yeah. So that we are already 1 hour, 20 minutes in the live. So, what is your parting message for the audience? We'll go with Pallavi, you first, and then Rob.
I think Rob had said, and even Patriji's message was same. He always said that we have to keep working till the last breath, teaching meditation and spreading the energy of pyramid throughout our life, and that's what our soul's duty is. So I will say the same, that please experience meditation. And pyramid is not something that we like and doing. It's a science. So there are a lot of books written by the pyramid experts. You can read and make the use of that pyramid energy for your day-to-day life.
Yeah. Thank you, Pallavi. Rob, can you share your message?
Well, my message would be the same. I would say I see some people are already signing up. It's flashing up on my screen. So that's good news. Please do sign up for the free inner circle. There's discounts that you can see there on things. I know that in India, some of the products that I make are pretty expensive, and there's discounts. If you want to contact me, I can give an Indian price too, I guess, because I do want to share this technology with people. But the message is, do unto others as you would have done unto you. Keep that always in your mind and heart. If you have a child and they need to clean up the room or doing something that is not really in their best interest, you can be a little serious with them and go, you really need to do this or to try that, or you're not thinking outside the box, you're trying to achieve a goal. um, you can give them guidance, but always underneath it, try to have love and compassion, and know that people must make their own choice and have free will. But being an example of ahimsa, of daily practice, of maybe doing a kind act for someone and don't even let them know that you did it. Random acts of kindness. If you can, in the Venusians, one of the things they always talk about is in the Bible. It says in Hebrews 13:6, it says, "Therefore, be kind to strangers, always kind to strangers, lest ye entertain angels unaware." And the woman from Rishikesh, if you listen to my YouTube channels, she did exactly that. And she dematerialized from the bottom of the trail to Badranath up into the planet Venus. She was taken, disappeared, because she was kind to a stranger. So the angel force is here, the masters of light are here, and have faith and move forward with confidence, um, in God. And read autobiography of a yogi. Yogananda constantly relies on his face. Everyone, his family, his closest friends, no one believes him, and miracles occur all the time because he knew that God was with him. And God be with all of you. Thank you, Pallavi and Akanksshaa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Rob and Pallavi, for being here. It's such an honor to have you here. And of course, the blessings of Mahavatar Babaji and Patriji for all of us. Lots of love. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank
All
you.
right.